Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Tina from It's a Wonderful Plan. Today I'm going to be using Wrong's Rainbow Collection. She has a rainbow PET box set, and this box set actually has 9 different colors in here. And she has the Rainbow Collection, which are like your colorful boxes, the dots, which are all colorful dots in here. So I'm going to be using this collection, and I'm going to be working in my Erin Condren Daily Duo the week the 14th through the 20th. For today's video, I'm not gonna like decorate the whole week because honestly that would take a while, but I definitely want to do Monday and Tuesday with you. But what I thought is do a color for each day of the week. Now there's 9 colors in here, so obviously not all of the colors are going to make it into this week. Kind of did a little bit of a map out for myself, what colors I thought would look kind of like nice together. So I want to do yellow and orange for Monday and Tuesday. Now these PET tapes, if you're not familiar with what they are individually cut stickers and they're on a roll. And they're essentially like clear stickers, but they're very pigmented. Like the colors are very pigmented on here. Now this is sold as a box set, like I showed you right here, if you wanted to get all of the colors, or you could pick these up individually. You just pick up like the colors that you really like the best. I do have a swatch out, like to put them on to my like sticker sheets. That's kind of like how I have them stored. So that way you could kind of see like what comes on this roll. And then here's the orange as well. I have a very standard blueprint for each day. I like to have my to-do section. It's very important for me to keep that. I have the hourly right here. And then this section right here, I will decorate. One of the things that's nice to decorate is like this top heading area. So I thought I could bring in some of these sunflowers, which actually there's some that are on here that are actually like cuts where they have like kind of like a straight edge. This is a new roll. I need to use my tweezers. The PETs are really nice, but honestly, like to open them up, you got to use something where you can really get in and grab like this tape that holds them together. It's kind of hard. And with my nails, it's kind of hard anyway. Everybody's a little different, but so okay, so here's the roll. So see how it's got like that border. So I think that would be really, really like perfect up there actually. So I'm going to start off with that. Okay, so since the sticker has like a clear like trim around it, I want the whole image to bump up against the edge. So I like to cut that off, and I'll cut it off before placing it onto the page just because it's way easier. I have done it the other way where I placed it, and I've tried different ways. I've like placed it where I like leave the gap, and I didn't really like that. And then I placed it where I had to trim it, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't like doing that. So this is one of the things that I like to make sure that I do. Whoa, I got stickers flying through the air here. Okay, so this one's actually going to take up like most of the room up here, which is perfect. Not every week I get the opportunity to decorate my dailies. I use them, and I'm trying to get in the habit of having like everything like decorated. I'm going to cover up this to-do. I always cover up the to-do because I like to use a box up there, and I always cover up that very first bullet point. So let me show you how it looks over on this side. Just because, first of all, I don't like this first bullet point being so close, and I like to fit a box in there. So that's mostly why I covered up. But yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to grab a couple of boxes because I'm going to need a box here, and then either one large box I like to use, or I'll put like a couple of boxes together. So I'm going to come over here So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two different ways. For this one, I think I'll use a big box. So these like double full boxes work really nicely in here. And then I need a box for up here. So now there's like different shades of yellow in here. And I'm just going to use this one. It's kind of like mustardy, but it'll be fine. It'll all like blend together. Because we're going to do like monochrome on this page. And then I think I'll grab this one because this is actually the same color. And then I'm going to grab one more. You know what? Actually, I have an older book that I am almost emptied out, but I want to see if I have anything in here that I could bring in. Yeah, let me do that because I don't want to use these up. That first book is almost gone. Okay, so now I have my 3 boxes here. This one is going to go up here for sure. So I'm just going to place that right away. The nice thing about how I do this for myself is that because I have like, kind of like I said, a blueprint of how I like to use this, it's just makes it so much easier actually to kind of be consistent with decorating it, because I need my planner. Like it's very, here we go. It's very, very important for me to write things down. And I have, some of my days are just super, super packed and other days are not. But I really do want to have these like filled out ahead of time. First of all, it's great therapy for me to like have like really pretty pages and sit down and like play with my stickers. This one keeps falling off my hand. Let me just stick it right there. I'm trying to pick out the girls that I want to use. And I think I might want to bring in a quote. So there's so many pretty girls in here. I definitely want to use her because she's got like the sunflower like dress on. So I'm going to take her from here. Sorry, I'm kind of like all over the place a little bit, but that's just the way that it goes. Okay, because I have like that extra, I'm trying to use like what I've already started to use before I dive into like my new supply. So that's kind of why I'm going back and forth a lot. So I apologize for that, but I just don't want to have a whole bunch of like stuff that's like half started and, you know, partially used. She's super cute. Okay, so here's my idea. I want to bring in 2 girls. I'm thinking like right here. I found that like this is a really good spot because it still allows me to have the hourly section available. And honestly, I don't mind covering up this like top portion. My days usually don't actually start till like 8. It kind of depends on what's going on. But that's usually when they start. So I can easily cover up some of like the 6 a.m. and the 7 a.m. And, you know, if I need to write the times in there, I can. But that's just more like I get up about 6:30 and, you know, I get ready for the day. So I don't really need to have that in here. Sometimes I write it in and sometimes not. So kind of depends on what is going on. But this is, like I was saying, this is a good spot to put like a girl or a long sticker here if you're like got dailies that you're trying to figure out how to decorate for yourself, but keep it functional. And then the other thing too is that I think a girl right here would be cute. So that's kind of my thoughts. Generally, I only use like one girl per daily page if I'm using like wrong stickers, wrong girls. But for this one, they're so cute. It's really hard to decide. And so I figure I'll just bring in 2 girls each day, or at least try to see how they fit and go from there. Okay, so I've got these 2 girls. Now I've got stickers everywhere. Usually I'm not this. I feel a little scattered. I don't know why. I think it's because I just had some coffee. That caffeine is like giving me all kinds of energy. Okay. So I'm going to bring her in like right here, but I don't like the lines like shadowing through. And the stickers are very pigmented, but at the same time, You still can see like certain things, like these lines are kind of on the thicker side, you know, that like a little bit heavier in color. Wait, how did I want to do that? Sorry. I think I want to bring her in right here. Yeah. So I want to keep it very functional, like I'm saying. So you see that I could be covering up some dots here, but I'm okay with that. I think I'll still have plenty. And I'm thinking I might actually bring in some of the dots from the dots book is what I was thinking of doing. So you see what I did here? I kind of set her down, and now I'm kind of following where the lines are coming in. I found that this is kind of like an easier way to cover up lines as opposed to just kind of like doing it and then laying the sticker down, because sometimes I end up missing where the line actually is. So there. Oh, that's so cute. I have this other box here. Oh, that's so cute. It's so bright and cheerful. And I am like all about yellow this season, which is so weird for me because honestly, I don't really actually care for yellow much. But it's just been such a pretty color. So now I'm thinking I want to cluster this girl on top of this box. I think that that would be really cute. Okay, so I like to keep everything, again, very functional. So my decorative boxes and elements, I want to keep them over here. So let's see. She comes in here. The box. Yeah, we'll be good. Okay, so the one thing about the larger stickers is that, especially like the boxes like these, I don't really like having to reposition them because honestly, they like roll when you pick them back up and it gets kind of tricky. Oh, I'm setting her crooked. I don't want to set her crooked. Let's get her straight. Sorry, that might be in the way. All right. So cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then I have this one. But now I also want to bring in, I'm not sure if I want to put this here because I want to bring in something. So this little box is going to sit there for a minute. And I want to look at my sheet because I want to see what other like cute elements I want to bring in here. I definitely want to bring in some more of the flowers, and I think I want to bring in some wording, but this wording is really big. Yellow is the color of happiness. So did I want to like squeeze that in like right here? Or let's see. The nice thing about these being on like the clear strip like this is that I can like kind of like without taking the sticker off, I can lay it down and kind of see. Oh, you know what? That's actually kind of cute. I think I like that. Let's do it. I'm going to do that there. It's a really big sticker. You know, you can make like a really nice statement with a large sticker. Okay, I'm going to bring this up here and I'm kind of sneaking it in. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard. There, I think you could see that better. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of like lining this up because I want to be able to see the wording here. I want to see if it's straight. Sometimes I'll turn my planner because since it has the lines here, that's kind of a nice thing actually, because then you could really see like if you're laying things down straight. I'm going to cover up that line and I'm going to cover up. This is just a dotted one, but I kind of like it when it's just like a nice clean slate. And I'm actually going to lift her up and I'm going to cover up this. And this is just me. Like everybody's different. Like if the lines don't bother you, then, you know, leave them, you know, but I get particular with at times. Okay, that's cute. But now I'm thinking, would it be cute if like the Y was kind of like coming in. Okay, so to do this, okay, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to get particular here, but again, sometimes I just see things and I think, oh, look at that, might be cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this so that way her feet are a little bit more separate. And then I'm going to kind of do the same thing with the yellow, with the Y in the word yellow. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to turn this. It's just going to be at a better vantage point for me here. So I'm going to kind of cut here to separate the Y. Because what I want to do is have, I think, what do I want to do? I think I want to have the Y. Yeah. I want to make it look like she's kind of like walking over the word. Yeah, like that. I don't know. That's kind of cute. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then I still have this little box, which I definitely want to use. Hopefully it hasn't lost a lot of tackiness because I really have had this up and about. Okay. I think I'm going to bring this in like right here. This is like the perfect place for it. For me. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Okay, now what I want to do is I just want to bring in some more flowers because I want to have things just kind of more decorated in here and balanced. So I have like this little bouquet here, which is pretty. I could make that work. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know which way I'm going to lay this yet, but I want to figure that out. So what I like to do is I'll decorate early, or like maybe Thursday, Friday night for the following week. And then on Sunday, I could come in here and fill in like my plans, what's going on for the week. I mean, a lot of the things I already do know what's going on, but things will change. So like final things that I need to make sure of. And then that way I have like a good overview. And Sunday's like the perfect time for me to do that. So if I decorate Thursday, Friday evening, then that gives me like some nice like downtime, and it's really therapeutic for me to just kind of like be in my office and decorate and play with stickers and watch something that I'm streaming. I always stream all my stuff. That's cute. And then on Sunday is when I will fill in like all of my plans. Oh, now if this was up further, I could use that whole thing here, but it is not, so I cannot. So I am going to use this like that though. I like to use up as much of the sticker as I can. When you cut a sticker, when you have like a decent sized sticker, you could actually do a lot with it. Bring that there. Which is always really nice. I do want to bring a little bit more of this in here just to kind of balance things out. So I'm just going to cut this, like give it a straight cut like that. And then that way I could kind of just like fit it in there. I was looking at this one, but I think I have to cut too much of that. So I think this one works. This one works way better. It's like already cut for me and I'm not like losing a lot of the sticker. Okay, so I'm going to cut that little extra clear trim. The one thing with pages like on a coil planner is that since they're stacked in the planner, sometimes I miss the edge and I have them like hanging off. There we go. So here is my Tuesday, which I want to use the orange. Do I want to use 2 girls or is that like too much? Now I'm wondering. Maybe I should just bring 1 girl. She's really cute. So there's her. Or there's this girl. She just looks more summery. Like she's got long sleeves on. I mean, she has long sleeves too, but she's got like short, and it's a sunflower. But I want to make sure I keep the girls in with the season. And I'm thinking I'm going to put her in here because I kind of want to have her balanced because I have one here and here. I don't want to do the same exact thing. And this is kind of like a good spot. Tuesdays are generally the days that I go and I spend time taking care of my parents. I care for my parents. They're seniors. And I just have like a set day during the week that I like pretty much am always there, but I'm there like other days as well. That's not the only day that I go. Some weeks it is, but most of the time I'm there 2, maybe 3 times during the week. Really depending on like what they need from me. So that's how that plays out. Okay, so here's the orange. It's so close to the red. Yeah, that's the red. So here's the orange. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I wanted to use different boxes, so I don't want to use the same. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what I have left in my other book. Again, I'm trying to use up all of the things. So, oh, here's a little orange. Let's grab this one. Some of these boxes have lines in them. I like the ones without the lines because then I actually can put them, you know, in either vertically or horizontally. I'm going to grab this one. These are like all different though, right? 3 different oranges. I don't want to bring in 3 different oranges in here now that I think about it. So I'm going to grab my new book because I think I have, yeah, I have this one here, which is actually the size I was looking for. And then I could grab a different shade. Grab one of these like deeper ones. Okay. And that will, actually I think that's the one I had, right? From the other. Oh my goodness. The things that go on in my brain. You know what? It's actually a little darker, but that's okay. I just want to have 2 different shades. I didn't want to bring in like a 3rd shade of orange because then things start getting a little bit too like crazy. I want to make sure that she's like standing on a box. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm not really seeing a lot of shadow through except for like right up here. Like that line across her face. So there we go. Yeah, so it really depends on how dark the sticker is. Like since she was lighter, I really need to cover up those lines underneath. And then I want this to overlap here. But actually, I think I want this to overlap this one. All right, so now that I sort of got like the bones down over here and things like kind of look pretty balanced, I'm going to flip the planner back onto itself so that way I'm just like working on the one page. I like to do that just to kind of like get things balanced and, you know, not have repetition on either side. I want to bring in something like that's going to, again, balance. Oh, I need to cover up my hours here. Sorry, I hope I'm not making you dizzy with all of the turning of the book and everything. And you know what? The way that this line is coming through, it's bothering me. So I'm actually going to cover that up. Sometimes you just have to flip the book around because, you know, depending if you're right-handed or left-handed, the coil will like get in your way. So you just kind of need to like figure your way around, you know, working around that. Okay, that fills in there really nicely. I'm just going to bring in something small up here. This one right here, it doesn't have the straight edge already, but I'm going to just cut it in half. Sometimes I'll cut it first and then lay it down, and then other times I'll just cut the excess that's hanging off like that. this is cute. Orange is happy, creative, exciting. But I think what I want to do is I think I kind of want to like split this up because this is one sticker and I want to separate all of the wording. So I'm actually going to cut it while it's still on the roll. This is my forgiving mat that I brought in because I know that I will not cut this right. And that way I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going to cut my page. So what I am thinking to make it kind of cute and playful, we're going to put this here. These words. Oh, it looks like I cut it off a little. I kind of grabbed a little bit of the top of the T on that. I cut them crooked. Oh well, it's fine. I do want to clean up this one here because it does have like there, the top of the other letter that was below it. So, okay. So I want to kind of have this in a fun little, like just playful way in here. Or do I want to do it like this? Maybe I'll do it like that. That's kind of cute. All right. And then I can actually take that other half and fit that in right there. I like it. It's so cute. Okay, now I need to fill in all the bottom part here. And I think I want to bring in some of, there's like oranges in here. I think that would be really cute. I think the bigger ones work better, at least here. But I'm also going to grab, these smaller ones too. And then there's like a slice because I want to create balance on my page. If you notice, that is a very popular word for me, balance. That is what I'm looking for when I am putting these together. I think that's really important. Now I could do this where it's like over, or I could cut it. I think I'm going to cut it. Okay, sometimes the little slivers are like really not worth hanging on to, and I just get rid of them because it really depends on what's left of the image. So I'm not going to keep that. I'm not going to really put that anywhere, but this is a really good piece. So this, I could actually bring it in right there, and that's kind of cute. Or I could bring it in up here. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I think or up down here. Let's see. Oh, I have another idea. I'm going to move this over. And I'm going to bring in the lemons here. So let's pick this one up all together. Let me bring this in right here. And then this, I can put this like right over it. That's cute. Okay. I could bring in the orange in here. So if I turn it and cut it that way, that would actually be so much better. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to just create kind of like a little box here. And if you kind of cut it at that 90-degree angle, then that should like fit around your box. Okay, now I'm going to bring in just some more flowers in here to kind of balance that out. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to grab one of these wreaths. I can kind of have it like this, and then I could cut around the box if that makes sense. Hopefully it will make sense. I'm gonna cut right here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this one. This is going to be easier for me if I turn, I think. There we go. That worked out. And then I feel like I need something there because it's kind of like blank, right? The sunglasses are super cute. I'm grabbing these because I want to put them somewhere in here, but not down there. I'm gonna grab, I think that candle is like perfect. It's like the perfect little space. I'm gonna kind of have it bumped up against the bottom, so that's why I'm giving it like a flatter. There we go, cute. Okay, now here's these sunglasses, and I think I want to just, I think I just want these to be here because they're so cute and playful. I like that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this now. That's so cute. I love it. It's so colorful, which is exactly what I wanted for these 2 days. That is so, so fun. All right. So now what I generally like to do is write in like my lunch, dinner on the pages, and then my to-do in there. And I want to maybe bring in some of these. These are from Erin Condren. These are like, I forget what these are called, but I think that these colors would actually work in here. It's like one side has got a highlighter, and then the other side has got a tip there, like a fine tip. And I think that this would work out really well. And I think I'll be able to see because it's yellow. And then do I have like an orange that that would work? No, not in that. Let's see. Okay, I also have these, which are also from Erin Condren. That might work, and the orange will definitely work. So let's see, because I think that this is like too, I think that this is going to be too orangey. I think I'm going to go with these two. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the yellow because the yellow is the one that's going to be the tricky one. So I take lunch at noon. I need to keep myself on a very like particular schedule, especially for like eating. It's just really good to keep yourself on a schedule anyway. Sometimes my schedule gets like messed up, but for the most part, I try to keep myself lunch at noon, and then dinner on Monday usually is a little bit earlier than 6 because my husband actually works from home on Monday, so he's already home. So dinner is probably going to fall in at like 5:30, like realistically. So I'm just going to write that like kind of right here. Now I'm kind of going over this a lot because it is yellow pen, and of course it's the lightest color. So that's why I'm really going over it. With that being said, I don't know if I want to use the yellow to write in the to-do there. Let's see. I think I'm going to put this orange in, and I think I'm going to use some stickers there. And for this one, I will have lunch with my parents because I will visit them, and then dinner. Now, I don't know what other things I have actually going on for these days. I'm not ready to fill that part of it in, so I'm just going to fill that in, and then I'm going to fill in my to-do stickers. And I'm going to use these from the Home and Family. I'm going to use my to-dos. I could use probably a whole book of just like to-do stickers and appointment stickers, to be honest, because I use those so much. I use them like well, first of all, the to-dos I use every day. So sometimes I use a sticker, sometimes I just write it in. In this case, I'm going to use the stickers. I think that'll look cute. And I like that look. All right, here they are. They're both done, Monday and Tuesday. And I used Wrong's PET tape. She's got the Rainbow Girls box that you could pick up, or you could pick up the colors individually. So if you just wanted to get yellow and orange, you could just pick these up by themselves. And of course, we have the other books, the Rainbow Collection book here. And I did not use the dots. Do I want to use the dots? I don't know. Is that going to be like too much? That's a lot of color. I don't generally do that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. But I probably will pull these out and use them to highlight like different things that I have going on. So I'm going to actually grab this dot here and I'm going to put it up in the corner because my husband works from home and I will put that, I'll write that in there. And I'm just going to use an orange dot over here. I'll use the darker to match the darker. Because I always have to like put on there like what time I need to leave so I don't get too caught up. Yeah, so I just grabbed, as you can see, I just grabbed that. I could have put all the dots there, but yeah, I'm not going to do that this time. And then the Rainbow Box collection for the boxes. And I am an affiliate of Wrong. So if you do decide to pick anything up, greatly appreciate if you use my affiliate link, and I will have that down below. And there's a code down there for you that will give you 10%. Make sure you put the code in because if it may show up automatically, but it may not, the discount. So just make sure you check at the subtotal that you have the discount in there for sure. Okay, so obviously I want to make sure that you get the savings, take advantage of that because that's always super, super important to make sure that you're getting the best deals. I am like really a firm believer in that. So moving forward, I will go ahead and do the other colors for the rest of the week. And I will probably share that with you on Instagram. So if you are on Instagram or you follow me there, then you can head over to Instagram and see how the other pages turn out. And thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope that you had some fun here with me today. If you did like this video, please be sure to give me that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to be subscribed, hit the notification bell. That way you will be notified when my videos post. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know what is your favorite color, or what is like a color that you never liked before and now you kind of like, because that's how I feel about yellow. Yellow is like my least favorite color, but I've just really been gravitating towards it this season. It's just been bringing me a lot of joy and I'm really excited. I got this really pretty yellow in my on a Monday, right? Because we need a lot more cheering up sometimes on Monday. Mondays can be a little tough sometimes, right? So yeah, let me know. Drop that down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I just love chatting with you down there as well. So thank you again so much for joining me today. And if you watch this video all the way through till the end, leave me either a yellow or an orange heart emoji. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.